It's Bend Your Ear with Ben Hartong.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bend Your Ear with me, Ben Hartong. It's been a long time coming, but I'm finally back. Today's episode is very special since it is my first one in 3 months. And coincidentally, today I have 3 guests. Make sure to stick around for that in just a few moments. But before we get started, I have a very special announcement. As you can see, I'm wearing an awesome t-shirt sent to me by Elliot Fisher of Clothes Ohio. Clothes Ohio is an awesome company that makes t-shirts, hats, and accessories so that you can show off your Ohio pride in the best possible way. If that's not exciting enough, for every item you buy, Clothes Ohio donates to people in need. So what are you waiting for? Go check out Clothes Ohio's amazing products. Their Instagram and website will be linked in the description of this video. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the special guest. Introducing... Wait, what? She's back? I thought we were... Oh. Can we maybe... Nope. I made a promise. Alright. And now, it's time for Rooney's Corner.
Hello.
Hello, Rooney. How's it going?
Good. I am so glad I've been invited back to the 14th annual Cheese Festival.
Cheese Festival? Wait, what? You know you're on my show right now. You know that, right?
Oops. I guess I'm a little mixed up there. I'm double booked right now. I'm supposed to be at the Cheese Festival at the Candy Park. I hope the mice don't mind.
Wait, hold on. There are mice involved?
Oh, don't worry. We've got it all under control.
Well, I certainly hope so. Anyway, in today's episode, I talk about football with my special guests. Is there anything that you want to say about that, especially during the college football and NFL seasons?
Well, of course I do. You know I watch football 24/7.
Great. Well, are there any specific players that you've been watching?
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Joe Burrow and all the other Bears.
Wait a second. You know that Joe Burrow plays for the Bengals, not the Bears.
Well, of course I do. I'm talking about the bears that hide in our yard, in the little burrows. I named one of them Joe. Joe Burrow. Get it?
Yeah, I do. But I'm not sure how that relates to football. Plus, we live in Cincinnati. There are no bears in Cincinnati.
Well, speak for yourself. I saw one the other day.
How?
Oh, you're probably right. I should start wearing my glasses more often.
I'm not sure that those will help. But anyways, is there anything else you want to say before I let you go?
Absolutely nothing.
All right. Well, I think that just wraps up the segment.
Okay, see you later, Bear.
All right. And now, the part you've all really been waiting for, the special guests. Introducing, for the second time, Anderson High School football coach Evan Dreyer and 2 of his varsity football players, Brody Foley and Casey O'Toole.
Hey everyone. Well, thank you so much for being here.
I'm super excited. This is the first time I've interviewed 3 people on my show.
How we doing, Ben? This is awesome. I'm excited to talk with you and the 2 other guys who are special, especially this season in 2020, and then they're going to be back for the Redskins for a future.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, I'm super excited. So, let's start off with this year's football season. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong, but your season ended in late October in the playoffs. But overall, you guys finished with a record of 7-3, with a conference record of 4-2. How do you guys think the season went in terms of competitiveness and overall turnout?
I think, Ben, the biggest thing is that we talked about we played 10 games, which a lot of people did not. But the biggest thing is we made it to regional semifinals, and that's in our long tradition at Anderson High School. There's only been 7 teams to meet the regional semifinals, and we were one of those teams. So I'm really excited about where we were in 2020, and we have a lot of guys coming back. But man, it was great to play 10 games. It was really exciting for our seniors to get their ability to be shown off in 10 games. Because I know last spring the seniors did not get to show off their talents. So if our kids can get an opportunity to play and compete at a high level within our league and then get to the state playoffs, it's exciting for our program. And these two guys, they had a great year for us, and I'm sure they're going to want to talk about it more.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to add about that?
I think I loved this year. This is my first year at Anderson, and I think we had a great year. Like Coach Dreyer said, 7-3, but we fought back from adversity a lot. So we lost big against Kings. We came back, had a big win. We were in it with Went Woods the first half, and then we let that one slip, and then we came back and went on a roll into LaSalle. And the LaSalle game was tough. I wish we would have won that. But I think it's a great start to what we're going to build on for the next few years at Anderson.
We've heard this a lot, but 2020, you really never know what is going to happen. So it's great that you guys were able to finish off the season. It seemed like you guys had a pretty positive attitude about how the season went, and we seemed to get something out of this. So that was great. Now, Casey and Brody, you guys both made the ECC All-Conference first team. So first of all, I want to congratulate you on that. And how do you feel about your recognition throughout the Eastern Cincinnati Conference?
I would say that it's awesome to be recognized, but I would definitely say that a lot of that would have to do with what you do in the off season, what you do when nobody's watching. If you constantly put in that work, it's going to be recognized at some point. So, yeah, I think the same thing would go for Brody.
Brody, anything you want to add on to that?
Well, I think me and Casey both had great seasons, and then everybody else, we have a ton of guys that were first team and second team. And I think that just shows throughout the program, everybody worked hard this offseason, especially in the spring. I don't know, if you know this, but we had a bunch of Zoom workouts, in the position groups. Everybody else wasn't doing that. I think it showed during the season.
What you do in the off season and what you do when nobody's watching it really counts. And I heard a quote as our cross country season was finishing out this year. My coach gave us, he always gives us this inspirational talk, and he told us a quote, and it was that it was hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard. And that I feel like that's something that really applies in sports. You could have lots of talent and you could be really good, but what really matters is the hard work inside of you when you're doing it.
Ben, I think the biggest thing that what you just said and what these two guys represent and what our senior class did is so true with the words about work. I've always used the hashtag work wins, and because work prepares you to have an opportunity for success. And our kids after last season, we didn't make the playoffs, Ben, for the first time in 4 years, and they come back and work out throughout the spring with Zoom workouts through pandemic. And this summer was different because we could practice and work out all the time. And our kids made a commitment to make sure that we had a great season to improve upon last year. And we definitely did. And I think that was key for our success because we have a bunch of seniors that gave us a great opportunity to set a foundation for the future because they felt a missed opportunity happened the year before. And they definitely put us back on the map and ready to go for 2021.
This actually takes me to my next question. So a few episodes back, when I had you, Coach Dreyer, as my special guest, we discussed many things, including the workman's motto. We also discussed things like team chemistry, and I think something that really came out of that episode, and Coach Dreyer, you even mentioned this in that episode, was there's always a score in life. People are always keeping score. You always have to be on your A game, whether it's on the field, in the classroom, or really just how you represent your community. Now, is there anything you, Coach Dreyer, would like to add into that as a coach? And Brody and Casey, if there's anything you'd like to mention as student athletes and role models, you're welcome to do so as well.
I think, Ben, what we talk about, we survived 10 games through quarantine, with close contacts. For our kids to be able to make great choices throughout this pandemic to show what really was important to them, their family, their friends, their football team, their school, to be able to compete for 10 games at a high level with making sure their bubble was really, really small, which allows me to think that we made a lot of great choices on weekends and outside of our school environment. It showed me, Ben, that teenage boys, if you don't let the expectations lower, if you don't lower them, if you don't change them, then the high standard is there and they're going to meet the high standard. And I think the crazy part is our standards are very, very high. And these guys right here on this Zoom and the guys that were in our locker room never allowed us to lower our standards. They wanted to compete. They wanted to challenge. They wanted to go against the defending state champs. So I think the biggest thing is that what I've learned is that we can't lower the expectations and change our standards. We got to keep making sure our standards are very, very high. So the next group and the next group and the next group keep following them so we can compete at the highest level.
Yeah, of course. Brody and Casey, if there's anything you want to add on to that?
No, I think he nailed that right in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I would say so too. I mean, definitely showed that like when we didn't have football or like on the Saturdays or Friday nights that everybody stayed home and did what they were supposed to do to make sure that we had a season.
Yeah. So Brody and Casey, you both are in your junior year of high school and you are in the midst of college recruiting. Now we know the current COVID-19 pandemic has affected many things, certainly had a very big impact on the sports community. How has the pandemic affected recruitment for you two?
So I know for me, Casey too, we were going to go to a bunch of camps in the spring, this past spring, and that just knocked out all of it. Like I knew I was going to go up to like Chicago, up to West Point for like camps and stuff, and that just completely ruined that. And it'll be interesting to see like going forward, because all we can do is like text our college coaches and then DM them on Twitter. We can't go to like the colleges, or they can't come in until April 15th. So I think it's a way different experience, and I think it's pretty much for our class, and I know like some of the seniors. And it'll be interesting to see going forward if that deadline keeps getting pushed back or not. And like it's just all pretty much online.
Yeah, I definitely say that with the pandemic, like obviously I'm not really sure if this has always happened, but they send a lot of like graphics and different stuff like that. And majority of the stuff you can only do right now is just send them your film and they just evaluate it from there. And like you give them all your stats, height, weight, stuff like that. And yeah, the only thing you can really do right now is just communicate over text and just go from there, I guess. But we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, and I know for college recruits and people hoping to play sports at a high collegiate level, is that you do a lot of campus visits and you do a lot of meeting with the coaches and athletic staff, and you guys unfortunately that with the pandemic haven't been able to do that. So hopefully you two have some opportunities in the near future to show off your guys' athletic ability in person.
Now, Coach Dreyer, a huge part of the recruiting process has to do with the coach's involvement, whether it is assessing their players' athletic ability or working with college coaches to try to sell or convince them to recruit a certain athlete. In this case, your football players such as Casey and Brody. I want to ask you the same question I asked them. How has the pandemic affected your involvement in the recruiting process?
Oh, I think, Ben, the biggest thing is that this senior class that's going to graduate, Jackson Kuhn, Andrew Williams, Noah Havick, Jarek McClanahan, all those guys didn't get to have camps from the junior senior year. So it's changed how we have to send out film and send out transcripts and make sure they're getting great opportunities to compete at the highest level that they can. And we have a recruiting website, and I think it's one of the elite things that we do to help our kids out to play at the collegiate level. And then we have a Excel sheet that we document where guys are at so we can contact all the coaches. And we do that through email as well as text messages. So we do a really good job of making sure our kids are getting recruited where the collegiate guys feel that they fit. And it's got to be a match on both sides. And I think that's the biggest thing, Ben, is that each university is looking for a certain type of physical characteristic as well as grades as well as everything else that goes around with a kid socially. And I think it's got to be a perfect fit. It's like building a relationship with each other. And these guys here with us, they get to do it through virtual, which is very, very hard for the first time, where everything is just DM, Twitter, and I think they're probably going to have some FaceTime calls coming up with Zooms and Google Meets. And I think it's really hard to build a relationship when you're not in the same room to see mannerisms, body language, and to see everybody face to face and to really to have a true interaction. And I think that's what is hurting colleges right now to get working on their 2021 class as well.
Yeah, and a lot of this is really overcoming adversity. This has been a really hard year for a lot of people, for a lot of different reasons. And I feel like for you, football players, you're trying to get into college and go to a university that fits your needs, and a lot of that can be hard to do with technology, and you're not always having to do the traditional experience.
I think this experience also been through the pandemic of virtual learning has helped us be able to do some different things, like we did virtual meetings, and then the realization of what's better, more efficient of a walkthrough on the field. I think everything has helped us as coaches and people to realize that face-to-face interaction is still the best thing to make sure we communicate with each other. And I think it's one of those things where these guys have to see who's the best fit for their future, because not only they're making a 40-year decision, but they're making a 40-year decision, because college is going to put them with choices after college, where they have to make a career choice and what they want to do in their future. And I think that's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make, Ben, of what you want to do. So you don't have to work a day in the life, as people say, because you're going to enjoy work so much.
Yeah. Now back to Casey and Brody. We've talked about earlier that the expectations for playing high school football are really, really high, and that you have to consistently be working hard. You have to be committed and dedicated to what you're doing. You have to work on your off days. You really have to put forth a lot of effort into doing something. Now, what would you have to say for any younger students, maybe my age, or people that are looking to get into high school sports? What are the expectations for football? And I know you guys play basketball as well, so really, what are the expectations to play a high school sport?
I'd say you got to show up and hustle from day one, and just try your best, because coaches will give you, if they see you working hard, they'll give you constructive criticism. But if you're out there lollygagging, you're wasting their time, and then that's just destroys your own character and how people perceive you.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Just showing up every single day is really what it boils down to. If you listen and you're coachable, then it really just will all come together. And if you put forth effort every single day, then you'll see the field, you'll see the court, and just go from there. I mean, you just got to keep improving every single day and just keep putting in work.
Yeah. I think that's what a lot of people, need to hear right now. You got to put forth effort. If you're going to do something, you're going to do it well. You're not going to slack off. You're not going to, lollygag, like Brody said. You really got to put forth the effort, and you got to put your, 100%, dedication on there. Now, back to you guys. You both have showed interest in playing at a collegiate level with football, but what are your long-term goals with the sport?
For me, I want to go to college and be the best player I can, help my team win. Of course, I don't want to get there, not do anything to help the team. I would say, I would love to go to the NFL. Will that happen? We'll see. Probably, chances are so slim. But I mean, just pretty much go work my tail off and then try the ball out, and get the best education possible from it.
I would just definitely say the same thing. Just definitely getting a good education out of it, and just being able to continue to play continue to play football at the college level is always a blessing. So no matter what you get put in your face, I'm just going to attack it and just go from there.
All right, so as you guys know, I always end the show with a game. Coach Dreyer, when you were on my show a few episodes back, we had a little Mad Lib challenge, and then you challenged me to a game of Hot Seat. Now today's episode is a little different since we have 4 people, but I had an idea for a competitive multiplayer game since I know you all are into the competitive spirit.
So what we're going to do is I'll display an image with a sequence of pictures. You will all have to try to guess what it is. Now, since today's episode is about football, each of the images has something to do with the sport. Since this is my 6th episode, there are 6 images to guess from. I have them right here. The person the person that guesses the most right wins the challenge, but you really just try. Here, I'll show you the first image to see what we're working with. So I got this one. Again, these are all football related.
All New York Jets.
All right, you got it. Awesome. Yeah, we got the.
I was going Daniel Jones. Are we doing certain people or teams?
We can do. For me, I was just thinking a free for all. If you want to form teams, you're welcome to do so. Yeah, we got the city of New York. We got the Jets. All right.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. Super Bowl. All right.
We're getting crushed.
All right.
Monday Night
Football.
I think Brody was the first to answer. You guys all got that. Yeah, you guys all got that one. This one is probably the hardest one. Really think of all of them one by one. All right, here, I'll give you a hint. In week 1, Bengals versus Chargers, one of the final plays of the game, Bengals were robbed because of this call.
Oh, pass
interference.
You got it. Pass interference.
What? You're Humper. I got 2 of them.
All right.
Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
You got it.
I can't.
Oh.
You got it. All right. This is the final one. This is one of my favorites. I think this is a great way to end the episode.
Go Skins. Go Anderson.
Go Anderson. We got it. Awesome. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you all so much for coming on my show. This has been a blast for me. I hope you guys got something out of this as well. Again, I want to thank you all for coming on today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Ben, this is awesome as always. Can't wait to have you up here at Anderson High School. These 2 guys are a blessing. We had a great year this year. We're missing some seniors as they move on and graduate, but we're lucky to have you coming up through to become a great student athlete here at Anderson. So we are one of the lucky high schools that gets great kids every year.
Yeah, well, next year I'm very excited.
That's great to hear.
All the football games too.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Hopefully the best student section in America is back next year, and we're ready to rock and roll.
All right. Sounds good.
See ya.
All right.
See ya.
Huge thanks to Evan Dreyer, Brody Foley, and Casey O'Toole for being a part of today's broadcast. Until next time, I'm Ben Hartong. Thanks for letting me bend your ear. See you next time.